Hello, everyone. This is WGM Sabina Foisor. Welcome to Class in Session, the US Chess podcast where we spotlight women who are using chess not just as a game, but as a powerful tool for empowerment, education, and change. These women are breaking barriers, building confidence, and inspiring the next generation, one move at a time. Today, I'm really excited to introduce my friend and our guest, Miss Kalanithi, or Kala. Um, Kanapathy-Bagley. Kala is the founder and executive director of Discovery Chess Learning Academy in Akron, Ohio. She teaches chess to students as young as 4 years old and uses the game of chess to build critical thinking, confidence, and help people develop leadership skills. She's also the founder of Chess for Cure, an initiative that raises funds for women's health research while promoting a greater participation of women in chess. Kala believes that chess is more than just a game. It's a way of life, and it teaches resilience, strategy, decision-making, and many others. It is my great pleasure to have you with us
Thanks,
today,
Sabina.
Kala.
Thank you, Sabina. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And I'm very excited for everyone to know more about you, about all the philanthropy that you've done with chess, your involvement. And let's get to the beginning of everything. I would like to know what got you so excited about the game of chess. Let's go back to the start.
So, my journey began long before Discovery Chess Academy was founded. I was raised in Kuala Lumpur in a family that deeply valued education, service, and leadership. Growing up as one of the four daughters, I was fortunate to have parents who believed strongly in empowering women and encouraging us to pursue our ambitions with confidence and integrity. My father, in particular, he instilled in me a strong sense of responsibility towards chess, towards public and community service. So that kind of shaped me up into the path that has brought me to what I'm doing now. I started playing chess in school at the age of 10. And, we were a competitive team. We played for the all girls team. We started at school level, went up to district, went up to state championship, and then obviously up to the national level. And, throughout my school journey, chess has been the sport that I stuck on with, and it gave me a lot of benefits, not just, you know, the recognition that came with it, but it also gave me a lot of values that that has been instilled till today, and that's what has brought me to what I'm doing now. And I'm able to use that example to teach the younger generation, and and you know. And when I became deeply involved in the chess community, I started seeing how powerful this game can be as a teaching tool because it develops patience, discipline, strategic thinking, resilience. And anyway, it creates opportunity to mentor these young people and help them build confidence, decision making skills, and this carries them into every aspect of life.
It is very nice to hear that you learned as a family and you're inspired by it, and you want to somehow use it to give back further. You also have two daughters whom you've introduced to chess as well. And how much did how what inspired you the most? Playing chess. Let's say, like, was because I'm sure it took time for you to build all this knowledge, all this like confidence that you wanted to
Mhm.
later give to others.
So, what inspired me through the game of chess is again, it I learned that it builds confidence, and it builds a style of problem solving that can navigate you through any kind of sticky situation in life. For me, that is, I've actually seen, just having this chess thinking capabilities, being strategic, it has helped me navigate through a lot of obstacles. And, as a woman, it kind of gave me a sense of strength, and it also taught me resilience and just to be able to move on through any kind of hardship. So that's something that I believe has shaped me and has given me the trust that I can actually use this and pay it forward or help the younger generation and be a mentor through this skill.
And it was this thinking, did it come after you um, graduated college, or was it something you always wanted to do ever since, like, you started feeling all this resilience built and inspiration? And was it after college that you mostly?
Yeah. Well, see, in 1997, when I first came to the United States, coming from a different country, a
Mhm.
different culture, a different background, um, you have to have some form of resilience, some form of strength to be able to navigate this new environment that you suddenly put into. One day I woke up and I'm here in the United States. I had to navigate through the different culture, a little bit of language barrier, I would say. I mean, we speak English, but there is a little bit of difference in that. And also environment, weather, a lot of stuff. And they all came on immediately. It was like a stark, it was like a lot of things at the same time. And without me realizing, because maybe I played chess and I was able to problem solve in my head. Um, that values kind of helped me um, figure out how to navigate my life in this new environment. Was able to go through college without any issues. So definitely I used the skill. And then, of course, getting my job, settling over here. And obviously, I mean, I met my husband in college. So that was a very difficult, I mean, that was a very easy passage because he helped me a lot navigate through this difficult environment. I don't know if I used chess strategy to get him, but we'll just say yeah, I did. But
Interesting.
it was really nice because I was able to build an international community in the college that I went to, and we realized that chess doesn't have a language. Chess does not differentiate people, race, culture. It actually is a language on its own that can attract anyone and everyone. And of course, so those skills that I've developed through the game has helped me navigate through my life in this new country at that time. And then, of course, I moved to Ohio and I started working for a school, and I have my two girls. And what started off as a hobby, teaching young children how to play chess, just developed into something it is today. And both my girls, they play chess, and I'm hoping, I guess, in some ways, it has taught them a lot of grit and resilience. And I'm proud to see how these two young women have developed. And and it seems like that journey through chess has brought us as a family together, and we have gone through a lot of tournaments, a lot of hits and misses, and and seeing the girls develop the strength to do what they're doing now shows me that what I believed in has paid off.
I love how you put that chess has its own language, and it doesn't matter where you're from. You can play the game and you can enjoy it, and you can also build a lot of friendships and travel the world. I would know that, having done something similar myself, coming from
Right.
Romania. And for me, it was always about learning more about others, and it kind of gave me the opportunity to want to learn other languages
Right.
and improve. And yeah, it's a great point of start. I'm not going to get into your personal life, how, if chess was something that you might have found as a common ground with your husband, but it's definitely something that we can all enjoy, and pay it forward. And what I love, that you're talking a lot about resilience, which is something that we sometimes don't get, because chess being a game, oftentimes there's a lot of emotions going through our minds, especially when we lose a game, and sometimes we want to give up. But if you have sufficient support, I think emotional support, and
Yes.
from your family and stuff, it's certainly something that can help to build you in a stronger person. Because in life, same as in chess, right, there's going to be
Mhm.
ups and downs, and you
Yep.
need to learn to come back from when we're being put, when you're down. You need to learn
Yep.
to find that. And I love how you
Yeah.
put it, that it helps. And I can certainly see the passion that was ignited maybe in you to pay it forward. So let's continue the story to after the time that you started teaching, and you started introducing chess to young kids.
Mhm.
You were in the first place, right? The teacher first, like not chess. It wasn't chess first.
Administrator,
Okay,
administrator at a school.
okay.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
started introducing
Teaching.
chess.
Yeah.
And what got started? What was the first step to building the Discovery Chess Academy?
So, I started getting a lot of kids who are interested, and some of them are grown and have their own families since the time I've started, and them being my student. And, seeing the interest in the kids, I said, rather than just making it into a hobby, maybe I should start taking them for competitive chess. To teach them again, being competitive and being able to handle wins and losses. If you teach them when they are young, that resilience automatically builds because, at young age, that's the best time for you to stop and let them check their emotions, and you are able to navigate these young minds, through what it means to win and be humble about it, and what it means to lose and be able to take it as a challenge and move on from it and become better from that loss, right? So I started looking out for tournaments at that time. It was like back in 2007, 2008. And then I started taking a group of kids for tournaments, and it just became very impactful. And then what I did was, I was very lucky to have met, the late Joe Yun. He was also from the Akron area. He had his clubs over here, and Mr. David Bills, who was also a tournament director. They taught me how to become a tournament director, and they taught me how to be able to, work in the chess environment, and basically taught me the skills to actually become a tournament organizer too. So that's where the passion to do the other side of the chess business, becoming a tournament director, and I just became interested in it, and the chess environment or the chess club just grew. And what it came to today is, as the kids were going for tournaments, as we were, having all this fun, visiting different places, I still felt like I was not doing exactly what I wanted to do. And, just discussing this with my husband, and him knowing how I think and how I view things, he definitely navigated me into the area that I'm passionate about, is to see how I can use chess to better a person. And that's how the philanthropy part of this whole um, organization started, and we started looking at different ways. And that's how, I decided that, teaching children in the juvenile detention center might help. And the next passion is women in chess. I really was passionate about more women playing chess. I really think that it's a good ground for building stronger women, and and making a good confidence building for the younger generation. So that's where we are, and Chess for Cure obviously was born from that too. So this is how the path, came about.
Interesting. So you started as a mentor, then you felt like you could do more. You got
Right.
attracted into organizing tournaments, and you've organized so many ever since. And with the Discovery Academy, I'm aware that you've also hired other coaches to continue teaching the kids, like especially higher groups, those who wanted to get better.
Mhm.
You're getting them connected with coaches. As I don't
Yeah.
know if that's still happening, but I know you're
Yes, it
doing that,
is.
which is very very nice, because we want to see, sometimes there are places where maybe you know we cannot all reach, or maybe there's not a title player who can help, and it's always nice to have someone who kind of guides the kids
Right.
and the parents to some other paths. And I want
Yes.
to take you back just a moment to the what you mentioned about your involvement with uh, juvenile um, detention centers. What got that started? Because obviously, you must have had a passion, but what was something that led you to going to centers and introducing chess there?
So, I always believe that children are our future, the future generation. If they are in the right path, the future would be good for
Hmm.
our children, our grandchildren, for the future. And I was passionate about trying to figure out what I can do to make a difference. And then we did some work, and I was doing research, and it just seemed like juvenile detention center would be a nice place for me to just figure out if it's helping or if it can make a difference. So we kind of reached out to one of the juvenile detention center, a chaplain, and we spoke, and she uh, found it very useful, and she wanted to really try it out so that the number in detention centers, the number of kids leaving and coming back was very high,
Hmm.
and we were trying to see if we can break that cycle just by maybe trying something new, chess. So working with youth in juvenile centers has been one of the meaningful parts of my journey. Um, and I've been volunteering for the last 2.5 years. And what I believe that it could be more than a recreational activity. I wanted to use it as a tool for their personal growth and for reflection. So when I first brought chess into those centers, my goal was pretty simple: to make the young residents um, to encourage focus, patience, strategic thinking. And then I realized that the chessboard started creating something deeper. And obviously, my whole idea behind it is to make chess as a life lesson. So, in that space, we have been able to have conversation, and we use it as a tool to become a mentor and to build trust with these students. And and it also gives them an idea of how in chess every move has a consequences. And with children, especially in that age group, the up to 18, like 13 to 18, seeing, realizing that, oh, I've done something wrong is easy, but realizing that the actions has a consequence sometimes may be a uh, difficult way of understanding for the youth.
Hmm.
And with the board right in front of them, when they see every move has a consequence, every position gives a chance for you to reassess what's happening. It allows them to be able to have a restart in life. And most of them there just has this idea that that's it, I've made a mistake, and they stop at that mistake. But through chess, I can we are able to teach the bridge, teaching life lessons, how to pause, making decision, how to think several steps ahead, how to manage emotions when you're under pressure. These are the things that usually gets anyone into trouble. And these skills helps navigate these individuals to real life challenges, and watching the students understand this connection has been the most incredible and powerful feeling that has been through my journey so far. And of course, my husband, because I'm volunteering, my
Mhm.
husband volunteers, and one of my coach, he volunteers. So he brings the chess part of strategy and lessons to the facility, whereas I use that part to teach life skills and what happens in the board, and I convert it to real life lessons. And then my husband basically comes and brings the what if and how if, and how can you use this to become a successful person when you leave the facility. And then of course my daughter Hema, she comes in and um, she brings this cheer, because she knows exactly how to communicate and be present with the kids, and she helps with game strategies, and she basically teaches them, the patience, the thinking, and how to build confidence through the game of chess. And so a lot of kids actually look forward to it, and the we do see a lot of difference. And it's funny because some of the guards and the people who work there, they actually said that they can distinguish who the chess kids are in the environment because of the way they reciprocate, or the way they think. And so it's not simply about teaching a game, it's about helping these young individuals develop discipline, self-confidence, and the ability to make good, thoughtful choices. And this is what has been very inspiring. I drive 1 hour to one facility, and now we started teaching in another facility. And though there are some challenges and stuff, I still think that just volunteering and seeing these kids, and sometimes I actually get sad saying goodbye to them, because it just feels so nice being around them and seeing them so passionate about it. And this has been just an inspirational journey for me, and I enjoy doing it.
It sounds inspirational. Like I almost like I started tearing up a bit because I've always enjoyed sharing my passion for chess too. But like, sometimes there's some stories when like it's tough. Some people are struggling, and if you can do good, if you can use a little bit of time
Mhm.
that you have to kind of give back, you never know what could happen. I know one time I did receive a message from someone who told me that they were struggling, and I said something. I didn't even realize I said it, but apparently it did change their life, and it, that just meant so much. Like, it was out of nowhere, and it just meant so much. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine how it must feel for you to
Yeah.
go. And I don't know how long these kids are there for, or if they come back. Hopefully they don't come back just because they like the chess. Hopefully they don't come back
Yeah.
like they use the
I
chess
have seen
later.
some success stories. I mean, you know, um, we have uh, we have people who speak. Who has been speakers in our events, and they actually, can vouch and say that there's difference. I know a few kids who have left, and who even left earlier than what they should have.
Nice.
And it, I get emotional because it could be my last goodbye to them.
Yeah.
But I know that the lesson and the time that we have spent with them is been instilled, and I have this belief and faith that they're going to do well, and they're going to keep moving forward, and they're going to use this knowledge of life lesson, and it just makes them a better person. And sometimes, yes, it's hard to say goodbye, but it's also something that I feel really good about. We usually, before any kid, when they get released, we usually have like a nice chipotle dinner,
Nice.
that we do to celebrate. And actually, in fact, this coming 18th, we are going to have an inter detention center tournament between all the detention. There's 3 detention centers in Ohio, and we're going to have a chess tournament on the 18th. So looking forward to it. I'm going to be the organizer running the tournament, and so we do bring the competitive part. The competition, and we will celebrate the winners, and we will celebrate who the best detention center is. So I'm looking forward to that too. And this journey is very fulfilling for me, and I feel like it has actually brought my daughters. I actually have learned to appreciate my girls more too, because I'm able to see the journey and the difficulty that some of our youth uh, go through. And one thing I'm very grateful for is grateful for my husband for allowing me to do this, and for believing in my work, and for encouraging me. He never says no to anything that, any weird ideas I come up with. He's always like, okay, if you want to do it. And that has made everything good. And through difficult times, through um, good times, working with these underrepresented children has brought a lot of joy, and has actually made me a stronger person too.
It,
So
it,
I
it
love it.
definitely sounds inspiring, like, both the way you talk about your passion, but also the fact that your husband is very supportive. And I think that's what, a lot of us are looking for, to have someone who is there for us, because as sometimes as females, as women, we might need a little bit of push,
Support.
encouragement, something. And it's not like we cannot do it. It's I'm
Yeah.
not saying it that way. So it's
No,
more like
I
it's
understand.
just, it's inspirational to have someone who is by your side and
Right.
supports your journey. And I love to hear these stories, because like, we strive for a better world, I think. And when the two partners are supporting one another, I think there's always going to be success. And of course there will be
Yeah.
tough times too, but by being
Yeah.
together and being there for one another, I think it just kind of helps. And I love how he shows up for you too, and you show up as a family to kind of be an inspiration for kids, and seeing the different perspectives, and um different perspectives that each one of you brings. So you said your daughter, yourself, your husband, the coach that you're going with, everyone
Mhm.
has kind of a different thing to teach. And hopefully the kids there, like, it's nice to hear they're inspired. I meant to ask if it's going to be an online competition that you'll do, or are they
No, we
going
are going
to?
to do it in person.
Okay, very
So,
nice.
yeah, it's going to start at 10, and we are doing it as a quad tournament, 24 kids. So looking forward to it. And,
Nice.
and I have to thank US Chess. I definitely have had a lot of support from US Chess for this work also. When I started, I had representatives from US Chess who came, and the encouragement that I get
Mm-hmm.
has also been a big inspiration. So you feel good when you feel there's somebody supporting you. So when I started, I had representation from US Chess. And then, I had Alexi Root. She actually came and gave lessons to the kids, and they enjoyed it. And Miss Martha Underwood has been there once, and she also helped out. So I have people who actually, when they come, they're very interested in volunteering and
Mm-hmm.
helping, helping by giving me ideas, and this has been a very inspirational journey. And I love sharing the stories, with with everyone in the chess community.
Well, hopefully everyone who's listening to this podcast gets a bit inspired by you, and if they have thoughts or suggestions, or maybe want to get a little bit of advice from you on how you got started, if they want to do something similar, hopefully they can reach out to you. And um, this kind of work can be done in other parts of the country as well.
Right,
I know around the world, I have heard a few more stories about having competitions like with, I don't know if youth detention centers, but also detention centers generally.
hmm
I would love to hear more stories about this, because it's nice to. I think with chess, even if as you said, when you make a mistake, like there's going to be consequences, but the nice thing about it is that you may have chances to come back if you do not give up. You can
right,
still find ways to come back. If it's not
right,
in that game, there might be another game tomorrow where you can give
right.
it your best shot, and if not tomorrow, the next day. But putting in
Yep,
the time to try to get better is the same
yep,
that we can do in our
right.
life. So it's very nice to hear
Yeah.
these stories, or hopefully someone else gets inspired by this, and um,
Mhm.
maybe
At
we'll
the end
continue.
of sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you
no,
off.
all good.
At the end of some of our session, I usually ask these kids to write their feelings about what they have learned or what their journey through this chess has taught them. And some of the stuff that they talk about, even I have never thought of it that way. I have learned a lot of things. And one particular youth, he said that, he called it check. That was the title of his paper. And he said, like the king, it has taught me how to check myself before I impulsively do anything. He said it has taught him how to reassess and figure out what he needs to do before using his emotions to jump in and create a unpleasant situation for himself. And so he said whenever he's in a sticky situation, he always uses the word check, and it automatically comes on in his head, and he first stands there and sees what he can do to avoid like
That's
the king. And
Yeah,
that was a pretty good inspirational speech. And I thought that, he was able to use that analogy, and he's since left the facility. He has not come back. So, it's good.
it's wonderful. And I certainly hope maybe one day, like after years, if we ever get the chance to meet someone, they will, but even if you don't get the chance to meet them, you've helped someone maybe better their life, hopefully. And it's great to know that you're able to do it through your own passion and
Yeah,
chess too. Well,
thank you.
I would love to ask more questions about this, but I'm also very excited to touch the topic on chess for cure, because that has been one of your most passionate, maybe, or I don't want to say the most, right? The one of the most passionate topics for you, using chess as a way to support healthcare for women.
Hmm.
And I will let you talk and tell us more about how Chess for Cure got started. This is going to be the third year where you're
Yes,
organizing the event, and I know you've done something in California as well. So I want to hear
yes.
all about it. Take it away.
So, thank you. So, the idea for Chess for Cure grew from two of my passions that has shaped my work for many years. And number one, it's my commitment to the game of chess and my belief in using community initiatives to make a meaningful difference in people's life. So, I began to notice two important realities, that I've always believed in. women have historically been underrepresented in the chess world. And despite the intellectual depth or beauty of the game, many girls, women never feel encouraged to pursue it competitively. I know it's changed over time, but still, we still have a big difference. And then, second, I saw how powerful the chess community could come together for a purpose larger than just a competition. So, and then at the same time, I was aware of the need for greater awareness and support for women's health, particularly, in the gynecology cancer research that has affected, and still the numbers are growing. That has affected so many families, and I wanted to bring both of this together, both these two worlds together, and with my passion for chess and community, it just, Chess for Cure just developed from that thought, or from what I believed in. And what we're doing is, the vision to create this Chess for Cure is to use chess as a platform to raise awareness and fund women's health research, and then while celebrating women in chess. So we have tournaments, and we have community events, and we have an annual gala. So the gala every year, what happens is, from the time we started, we created a different theme for people to come and celebrate, and also have an uh, educational uh, perspective. I mean, we have speakers from different areas of health and chess. So for people to come together and get inspired by what this whole initiative is. So, the earlier night, the gala, we usually have speakers from the healthcare area. We have people who have gone through real life challenges, and they share their views and their life story for inspiration. And then we also have people from the chess world who comes and educates us about what's going on with the world of chess, especially emphasizing in roles of women in chess. And last year, our gala, in the first year, obviously, it was just Chess for Cure Gala because it was the opening. We got supported by our senator of Ohio. He attended it, and we got a lot of support from the chess community. US Chess sent most of their board members attended it, and I got a lot of encouragement from US Chess itself, and and then we have researchers from the medical field, and we have doctors from the field, everyone together in one room. So the first year was just the birth of Chess for Cure. Then last year, our theme was the art of strategy. So, to encourage people to come using a theme to make it more spicy, more fun, right? And for giving everybody an opportunity to contribute to something larger than the game itself, and it actually unites communities. It elevates the women in the game, and supporting this critical medical research. It is very inspirational. And this year, I'm hoping that we get more people who would want to come and play in the tournament, because what they're doing is, just by participating in this tournament, you are actually helping women in chess, because 20% of what happens at the chess tournament, part of the Chess for Cure initiative, goes towards US women in chess. And this year, 2025, we had two Chess for Cures. We had one in Akron, And I have to credit one of the students who came to participate here from California, Adeline Yang. She saw how powerful this movement was, and she decided that she was going to replicate and create Chess for Cure in Southern California in September, on the very day that celebrated women gynecology research. So we were able to showcase what we were doing with the World Gynecology Research based in London, and they were showcasing the event at the world stage too. So slowly, even this, again, it's a young mind, and she decided to take the leadership role. Being a female chess player, she saw the benefit that came from that, and she made it something big. And through the support, and we she managed to raise $20,000 for the City of Hope Hospital, and she was able to give 20% of the portion of the tournament to US Chess. And another thing that happens through this Chess for Cure, we have built a community, or we have built an environment to allow young students to use this as a catalyst to become young leaders. They are able to promote and work with me, and are able to use, again, problem solving, leadership qualities, entrepreneurial qualities to educate the community, and to make it a way for them to promote what we believe in. And we have a lot of student interns who are deeply involved in this movement, and have been using this for their own internships, and to help up a nonprofit, and again, to educate the public about the importance of women's health and women in chess. And they do get recognized for their work, and it helps them with their college applications, and building their resume to show that they are um, critically involved in this kind of public engagement, or public awareness program. So it's helped build a lot of young young younger kids who have grown from helping out with this program. So I actually get very excited to see the younger generation helping me out, and it's really nice to see the amount of work that they are willing to put in, and to show how they are, leaders in their own field, trying to make this a successful event, and they are very passionate about it too. So it's been great.
It's wonderful that you're mentioning all these, and I feel that we should also let our viewers know that, or listeners know that the way you have created the tournament is like, for the gala, people have the ability to um, purchase a ticket, and then depending on what you purchase, you have, I love how you have them set up from pawn level to queen level, and there's
Mhm.
a variety of things that you get access to by purchasing that. And the proceeds do go for both the cancer research as well as the US chess women's programs.
Yes.
And also for the tournament, as you're mentioning, you are going to have this gala that takes place on 24th of April. And
Mhm.
then the weekend, 25th and 26th, there's going to be a tournament. That tournament is open to all. And a part of the entry fees, right, is going towards, again, both of these, the
Process.
both of these causes. Yeah,
Mhm.
and usually what happens at the gala, as you mentioned, you have a theme, and I believe this year it's if I read it correctly, lights, camera, and checkmate. So I
Yes.
was wondering if you're planning to have any chessboards with colors, lights that are going to to be, present
Showcased.
at it,
Yeah.
showcased, and then, or I don't know. This is I'm looking at I
So
was looking at the
so
website, and
yeah. So so I have I have two very wonderful ladies who helped me out with this Chess for Cure event.
Mhm.
One is my marketing director, Sadia Ahmad, and then I have a parent volunteer, Jennifer Kabat. So these ladies always come up with these really cool
I
ideas of
see.
what we want to do. And and they have like they put in 130% dedication. So I mean, kudos to them for always being there and helping me out with this event. And then I have another friend, Karuna, who helps with all the decos, and she's another person who's very much involved. And again, few ladies. Believe it or not, it's a ladies' meeting ground for
Mhm.
this event. So they came up with this. Hey, why not we bring a movie theme and chess together? So that's how Lights, Camera, Checkmate
Got you.
was born. And we're trying to, use movie inspiration, trying to make it more like a Emmy Awards, Oscar
Interesting.
night,
Okay.
make sure the gala, and then of course, a lot of flair of chess in it, and we're trying to combine both worlds to make it, something spectacular, hoping that that's what at the end it meets all those expectations. So with the rise of movies about chess, Queen's Gambit and different chess movies, we just thought that this might be a good theme this year. So very excited about it, and I also wanted to say that our chess tournament, we have for every category, we recognize the best female player, and Crown Trophy came up with a really cool trophy just for these women and for Chess for Cure. So it's really nice that every girl who got it, every woman who got that trophy just felt very special. So we have a lot of people who have come together to make Chess for Cure a very inspirational journey even in their life, and to make it hopefully to make it a movement that that is going to support a lot of research all over the country, and will help promote more women to play chess, and to recognize all these strong women out there who wants to come and play chess and learn more about health and awareness.
No, that's definitely wonderful. And I want to ask you about the other things that will be existing at the gala. So for the in order for people to support more, and the various you can get, of course, donations, but you also have things that people can bid for, right? So are you
Yeah.
doing a live
Auction.
auction
Yeah, we're
or
gonna have a live
silent auction?
auction. Yep.
Okay.
We'll have a live auction, and it will all be online. So anyone from anywhere in the country or the world can actually bid for it. And if anyone out there who wants to sponsor an item for auction, thank you very much. We welcome any kind of auction item sponsorships, and the next thing we can do is that we'll share a link with that's meant for Chess for Cure. Even if you can't attend the gala, you can always help by supporting, just making a donation. $1 goes a long way to help this initiative. So if they want to just give donation, but of course, I would love to see anyone attend this event, and if you can, there's again you can buy tickets online, and or come and play in the tournament. It can be your first tournament, So yeah, definitely come and support and play in the chess tournament. We'll share the link, obviously, and any support would be fully welcomed.
No, I think it's a wonderful initiative. So we'll be sure to have the links provided in the description below, so everyone can go check the event. So again, it's happening on April 24th, and the tournament comes the next 2 days after. This
Yes,
is a Friday, so the tournament 25th and 26th of
26.
April.
Yeah. And
And
I have to thank some of my big supporters. Anand Doblapati, he has been there from the time Chess for Cure was born, and he has always been the one running the tournaments for me. And Martha Underwood, they are very gracious by just helping out and making sure they are available to run the tournaments. And then Bill Bulkus, definitely. So a lot of chess people actually believe in this, and I'm so fortunate to have them around. And Sabina, thank you for coming and playing in this year's tournament. I'm so
sure.
excited.
I guess you
I
made the
am
announcement. Now I have to come. I mean, I did mention that I would, so
I
yes,
am
I will
so
be.
excited. Yeah. So,
Uh,
it's really exciting, and I feel fortunate that a lot of people in the chess community believes in this work and have been very encouraging, and my US chess women's committee. Oh my gosh, they are the best. They are my best supporters and advertisers, and Maureen has attended every year, and Kimberly Do, the two chairs of US Women's Committee. They have been nothing but very inspirational in helping with this. I have to give it. Maureen and I were once discussing 3 years ago, how can we make this a community work? And that's one of the ways, Maureen was discussing, and she said, trying to combine it with someone else greater. And that's how the whole Cleveland Clinic initiative, chess, women in chess, all that, came about. It's been so many people's thought and ideas and encouragement that has made this into a big thing. And of course, I have to again give a shout out to my husband, who's always like, okay, you need to do this, go ahead, and all the initial funding and paying for stuff.
I see. Well,
you
no,
know
I understand. No, and I do know a lot of the behind the scenes that both Maureen and Kimberly have done, and I'm also very grateful to both of them, to you too. And I know there are quite a few other women who have been
yes,
involved with the at the start of the girls club room for national tournaments, and
right,
also, you see, even if we don't necessarily always use chess as a means to continue grow and become professional chess players,
right.
or even if we do and then later, we want to stop,
Hmm.
or not doing it anymore. Just sometimes it can bring a lot of us together, connect with one another, and share ideas that can lead to making further changes in the next generation. And after all,
Yes,
that's what we're all trying to do. And US Chess, in their mission statement, this is what they're saying, that
yes.
we're doing. And I just love to see all this passion come together. And if I can
Thank you.
be a little bit of help by creating this podcast, and hopefully let all of you know about
Thank you.
a lot of the work that a lot of inspirational a lot of women are inspiring communities um, through through volunteering, through philanthropy, and it just means a lot that I'm able to do this as well. I'm also very grateful that I'm here, and I love hearing your story, Kala, and everything
Thank
that
you.
you do. Very thankful for that.
Thank you.
Very thankful that you've accepted my invitation. Again, I'm hoping all of you will consider joining in to this cause, whether by coming to the tournament, joining the gala, or considering making a donation. I think it's going to be something that will leave a great impact. So I hope you do consider that. As a final question, Kala, I wanted to ask whether you have a final advice that you'd like to give to people who, like yourself, want to find a ways to combine their passion for chess with community service or considering philanthropy, and they don't know where to start or how to do it. What advice would you give them?
So for me, I look at it as, if one lesson chess has taught me in my journey is every move matters, every move. So, you know, whatever you do, every success comes from a single brilliant move on the chessboard. So it comes with patience, it comes with thinking, it comes with learning from mistakes, definitely. And the most important thing is having the courage to continue doing what you believe in, even though the position looks difficult. Just like in life, you don't want to shy away from difficulties. You don't want to feel alone and not pursue what you believe in. And I think the greatest gift that we can do is to always pay it forward, help, do a lot of service, and believe in yourself. So again, having the courage and having the faith to continue doing what you believe in will always be beneficial, and celebrating everyone that you care about, that celebrating your community is very important, and enjoying what you believe in. So yes.
I love that, and keep moving forward.
Thank you.
That's a great way to end this. Again, I'm super thankful for you joining me. I hope everyone has enjoyed this. Um, anything else you'd like to add?
I am, I know, I just want to say I feel honored and I feel really happy that I was able to do this podcast with you. I want to thank you for always believing in me too. Your support for the last 3 years of Chess for Cure has been generous, and I'm so happy that again, with people who believe in you, what you believe in will flourish, or it becomes alive and it just gets bigger and better. So thank you so much. Thanks to US Chess for always believing in my work too. And hopefully, I would see a lot of people this year at the gala and the chess tournament. Thanks.
It was truly an honor to hear Kala's journey and the way she shared her story. I feel that conversations like this are a reminder of how powerful chess can really be, not just as a game, but as a way to inspire resilience, mentorship, and positive change in communities. And I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to highlight all the amazing work that Kala has done and bring her story to you. Hopefully, it's something that's going to inspire the future generations to get involved in the community, or if you're still trying to find ways to get yourself mentored, maybe Kala is the person to reach out to know how to get started. And considering that typically at the end of my conversation, I like to have a chess related topic as well. Typically, I'm going with my guests over a game or we're doing some tactics. Today, I decided to do something else that I believe is very special. We're recording this interview in March, which happens to also be a special month because we celebrate Women's History Month and we recognize the incredible contributions of women across many fields. And to mark the occasion, I wanted to highlight something else that's meaningful, choosing a game that was played by two outstanding players in the United States, two of our top female players, Carissa Yip and Alice Lee. The game that I selected was played in the recently concluded American Cup, which Alice Lee has won for the third time in a row. Congratulations, Alice, by the way. In this particular game, Alice has won. And I wanted to choose a game of hers, considering that we are celebrating Women's History Month. And Alice was my first guest on this podcast when I first started interviewing. And if you have missed that interview, you can always replay it. We have a list that you can click on and look at previous podcasts. Alice has certainly been inspiring for me to get my way back into chess on the one hand, but on the other hand, to continue this journey of highlighting women. And I am truly a fan of both Carissa and Alice. But for today's lesson, I chose a game where Alice won. That's another reason why I flipped the board. So without further ado, let's get into the chess part. So this game was their fourth game in the match. This was in their semi-final, technically, match. And Carissa started with e4, and the players went into an open Sicilian. Carissa has definitely broadened her repertoire ever since she's made a big name for herself in the world. She's had amazing success, and so did Alice. I'm looking forward to see which one of these two youngsters is going to become the next female to get the title of Grandmaster. Their game went on to a very aggressive Sicilian, in my opinion. The Lasker Pelikan, or Sveshnikov, if I may say, knight b5, and black responded with d6. And now in this position, one of the most played lines for white here is bishop g5, pinning the knight first and then getting ready to bring the knight to d5. And black typically responds with a6, knight a3, and follows through with b5, trying to chase this knight away from having the opportunity to defend the one that will go to d5. But in this particular game, Carissa chose the second most played line here, which was the move knight to d5. This somewhat forces the trade of knights because white is threatening to fork the two rooks. So knight takes d5, and here Carissa responded e takes d5. Now in this position, obviously, white can recapture with the queen as well, but I wouldn't really consider this a good move because the queen will easily be chased away, and then black will get rid of this outpost that it has given by playing d5 later on. So we can certainly play a6 first, followed by bishop e6, d5, and this is also a very typical idea that you want to remember black has in a lot of Sicilians. So enemy's pawn recaptured in d5, and knight to b8. So the pawn structure has certainly changed. While a few moves ago black had a backwards pawn in d6 and there was an outpost for white in d5, now with the pawn move from e4 to d5, black has a majority on the king side, while white has one on the queen side. And those things are very important to note. When I teach my students, I always emphasize on this because I'm often told that they don't know what to do once some pieces are being traded off or the opening knowledge that they had prior is over. So this is what you have to do. Just look at the way the pawns are being traded and follow through with plans on the side of the board where you have more space. Considering the extra space on the queen side, white proceeded with a4, bishop to e7, and now bishop e2. Very normal development for both players, castle, and now bishop d2. Now, white will possibly be struggling a bit with this bishop, though this is the good bishop of white's. It's not so easy to find a spot where it supports things easily. Possibly, in my opinion, e3 would be the square I would put it, because I would know that as white, I would love to push the pawns in this specific way with c4, b4, c5, trade things off. The bishop here would be supportive, while in the same time supporting the king. So in case of f5, with the idea to push the bishop back, I would respond with f3 or f5, stopping black's improvement on the king side and, making sure that the bishop has a retreat spot in f2. But bishop d2 was played. I think castle would be just as a natural response as well. Knight knight d7 and bishop b4. Carissa is immediately putting pressure on d6, but the thing is that unfortunately, that pawn cannot really be captured. And why? Well, Alice realized that the pawn cannot be captured, so she immediately chased the knight back, which now shows that the bishop in b4, unfortunately, wasn't really greatly placed. So again, personally, with white in this position, I would consider castling as a way of making sure the development is finished before considering something aggressive on this side of the board. So after a6 in this position, white played knight a3. So let's try to understand why was knight a6 not possible. Well, notice the knight remains pinned. So now if we simply move our knight to f6, there's no way for white to save the piece. And now we cannot capture with the bishop because this knight will be captured instead. So this is the reason why I feel bishop b4 was somewhat of a dubious choice. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Knight e3 was played. Now the knight is going to be brought back into play through c4, or maybe if c4 was going to be played, knight c2, knight e3 potentially could work too. But in my opinion, this bishop is going to be simply in the way of white's plan. Alice continued with a5, maybe not necessarily immediately, but she wanted to make sure the bishop was going away, and then follows through with the side of the board where she has more space, which is the king side. Now black is going to focus on developing a potential attack. Castle, knight c5, knight c4, and here Alice played the move b6. I actually really like this move. Reinforces the defense of the pawn in a5, prepares potentially a development of the bishop on this side of the board, supports the knight in c5, and everything on the queen side seems quite solid in such a way that black can focus on the king side. f4. This is the typical way for white to stop all kinds of attacks. If we do allow f4, things could get a bit dangerous, because even if you play f3, black, due to the fact that the center is somewhat closed, black can continue with attacking the king side, and then the king would go to the side, rook g8, the queen comes into play, bishop comes out. Step by step, black is going to improve. So f4 is the right kind of approach of stopping everything. And normally I would say to go e4 with black in this position, because we want to have our protected passed pawn, we want to have more space. But the thing is that in this position, you don't really want to make this move, because even if you've created the passed pawn, black is going to allow knight e3. The knight is the best blockading piece for passed pawn. The pawn is protected, and well, I think white doesn't have any worries anymore of a potential attack, especially because though earlier I mentioned the bishop in c3 might not be doing so well, the diagonal opened up, so anytime you'll consider g5, well, your king might be weak. And there's the d4 square for the queen ready to get into the action. So Alice decided to capture. Rook takes f4, and the idea was now to improve one of her worst placed pieces, which is this dark square bishop. Ideally, we may want to consider to trade it, but she went for bishop g5 with tempo. The rook had to retreat, and now she developed her other piece, bishop a6. Remember when I mentioned b6? Yeah, we wanted to develop that bishop eventually. Now it's the time to take it out, bishop a6. And Carissa plays bishop d4 as an attempt to kind of hold on to the position, maybe play c3 b4. Rook c8. Now we're pinning, we're building a potential discovery, better said. And b3. Knight d2 could have been an option as an attempt to bring the knight to the other side and defend while freeing up the space for a potential pawn push on the queen side. With b3, I think white makes her life a bit difficult with the later push of b4, because you see, we do have the majority, but just because we have it, it doesn't mean that we are in an advantage in any way. We need to find a way to push those pawns forward. And in my opinion here, it slows down a bit. Alice chose to give up the bishop pair because now after bishop takes, she can attempt the trading of the bishop. So white doesn't actually remain with the bishop pair, but what she wanted to do is get into a position where she would remain with her good knight versus a bad bishop due to a lot of pawns being placed on the light square for white. And there's no way for white to really escape the trading of the bishop unless you want to lose an exchange. Carissa goes for king h1, and now we trade the bishop. I believe in this position, black has gotten more than an equal position, slight advantage because of the power of the knight versus bishop. And if you know me, you know I tend to enjoy knights a little bit more, so no wonder I chose this example. We can certainly see a great outpost knight versus the bishop that doesn't do so much. We also have the ability to bring the knight towards the center and the attack. Now here, queen f6 was played. Alice had won the previous game, so draw would have been perfectly fine for her if queens were to be traded. The rook could recapture, and then I think it's quite easy for black to just be solid here. If you're trying to just get a draw, you can always come back with the rook, play king f7, bring the rook to e8, and trade everything on the e-file, while not being worried about any pawns being lost. So of course, Carissa is playing for the win, and she goes queen f4, rook e8, the worst placed piece. It wasn't doing anything anymore. We're bringing it into the game, threatening. Rook e4. White probably cannot attempt to do this because if we trade and queen c3, I think black is slowly infiltrating to a slightly better position. So white wants to try to keep more pieces on the board. Rook e4. So now it's time, considering the queen side is relatively locked in, black is going to try to find a way to improve further. I like how Alice approached this position. She didn't play for a draw. She played good moves that would maintain her position, and then she went on to try to improve further. Queen f3 and now g5. We have the majority on the king side. This is the side of the board we want to start pushing. Bishop b5. It's kind of hard to assess what would have been a better move for white here. And now I think g4 would have worked great. g4 followed by f4. Alice, on the other hand, chose rook f4, queen e2. She tried to repeat a little bit the position, gain additional time, queen d2, and now she played rook h4. Considering the way the position is, this is certainly a weak spot for white, but maybe we could have continued the same way that we started, which is, pushing f4, followed by g5, maybe f3, or maybe rook e5, rook h5, but she wanted to go directly to that side of the board and pressure h2. g3 seems the only way that white is going to cover the second rank, with the idea of playing rook f2 later as well. Knight e4, queen g2. These moves seem quite natural. The rook has to retreat because it was under attack, and it is in this position that it gets difficult for white. If you don't do much, black will slowly find a way to get g4 in, bring another piece on the h-file, or move the rook over and push the h-pawn to open the h-file, and the king will be in trouble. And so bishop d3 kind of had to be played to attempt the trading of the bad bishop versus the knight. I think this is the moment that you can do this because the knight cannot go back as f5 is hanging. So if Carissa would have played this, I think the game could have potentially ended in a draw. But instead, she goes for bishop d7, attacks the pawn in f5, but from this side, black has the ability to go queen e5, which was possible in the other case too, but here, the bishop doesn't get the chance to be traded for the knight, and it kind of stays here exposed, which is something we're trying to avoid. King g1, and now, again, I think f4 is the way we want to advance. Alice goes for e4. The time here was a bit tough for both players. They were getting lower in time. Rook f4 is played, and this was probably what Alice was thinking. She played g4 as a way to attract white to place the rook there because, wait, this move is not usual, right? It's counterintuitive. You're pushing this pawn, you're having a majority. You're supposed to push f4, but instead, this move is played, which leaves the f5 pawn backwards, the f4 square for as an outpost for white. What is going on? Why are you making that move? But it was for attracting this move, and actually this is a mistake. We can't do that just yet because knight g5, which Alice finds immediately with the idea of knight h3 forking the rook, but also knight f3 going for h2. What should white have played instead? Well, probably just kind of wait, pin the knight again, and then find a way to maybe bring the bishop back to get rid of that knight. Definitely finding a way to not allow this knight to make its way to h3 or f3 would have been very important, or trade the queens. So the game continued, knight g5, king h1, and in this position, of course, black responded with knight f3, threatening the capture in h2, and it's really difficult to do anything. Now, this is a typical idea, but you always have to double check things. What's the typical idea? Well, when we have a knight protected in the opponent's territory and they have a pawn that's being attacked, they can play h4. And by playing that, we know you can't take en passant because the knight is hanging, and you think, that's it, I saved myself. I blockaded the king side, no more attacks, I'll be totally safe. But in this position, there is a beautiful move with which the game concluded. I hope you pause the video and try to find it. So here, Alice has found the beautiful queen sack, queen takes f4. And now the game finished. Carissa resigned because if you do recapture, then we have rook takes h4. And, well, you cannot go queen h2 because of mate, so you have to go queen h3. And then, of course, that queen will be captured and white stays up a rook and a pawn. So beautiful finish here. Queen takes f4 to win the game, the match, and let's say make history on an important day, March 8th. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this game. I certainly hope you have enjoyed the podcast. It was truly an honor. As always, very thankful to US Chess for this opportunity. If you are not following US Chess yet, be sure to do so on all social media accounts to stay notified when interesting things are happening, new tournaments, educational content, future events, and giveaways, and many others. The national championships are starting very soon, and I'll be the host for those. I'm looking forward to seeing interesting chess. And as always, I hope if you enjoyed this video, you let us know so that we can continue bringing inspiring chess. Thank you as always for watching, and don't forget April 24th if you want to be involved in Chess for Cure Gala.